Hi all, this is Andy from Tennis with Andy. So, as a fan of tennis, the last few days of the Aussie Open have been some of the most exhilarating match play that I've seen in a long time. The men's draw has been amazing, and the women's draw is just full of so much depth, and this is just reflective of all the upsets that have happened. But let's start with the women first. So we have Barty and Danielle Collins in the final. Ash is super solid. She's been throughout this contest. I was actually quite surprised how easy her win in terms of scoreline looked versus Madison Keys. And I think Ash, I think she's just a well-oiled machine. So she knows her game perfectly, and she's just rock solid throughout. She knows her best shots are her serve and forehand, and she uses her slice on her backhand so effectively well. Comes over it when she needs to. But you know what you're going to get from her, and I think she's going to be really hard to be in the finals. Then Danielle Collins, she just absolutely believes in herself. She has supreme confidence in her game. Such a great comeback from last year in terms of her injuries, and it's good to see her on the tour, and lovely to watch her play, and that she has that belief in herself. And for me, like, if you don't believe that you're going to win, if you don't believe in your game, then what's the point of going out there to play? And that's something that I really respect and admire in her. And I think in the finals, I'm going to pick Barty in 3, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if Danielle wins because she has a game to beat her. She has the ability to take the balls early and to redirect them. So now moving on to the men, the quarterfinals were just at least all the matches except the CC Pass Center one. They were just completely exhilarating, 5-setters, and just showed resilience. First of all, I'll start off with Nadal. Nadal, I don't know how he did it. He looked completely gassed versus Shapo, but somehow he had the will to win against somebody who's hitting as hard as Shapo. I think Shapo played brilliantly. I think he let his emotions sort of get the better of him with his remarks to the umpire about corruption. I think he'll learn from that. Hopefully he'll learn from that, and I look for him to build on this and have continue to put up good numbers throughout the rest of the year. Then Monfils and Berrettini. Monfils played brilliantly well, coming back from 2 sets to love down. And Berrettini, he's one who I see will consistently be in the conversations in terms of getting to semis and finals of these events. And his serve and forehand are huge. So who's my pick in terms of Nadal versus Berrettini in the next round? And this is a lesson for me as a club player and just for everyone in general. And I pick Nadal if he's healthy. And the reason is that Nadal, once he sees a weakness, which is Berrettini's backhand, he's going to pick on it and just go there consistently. I'd imagine 80 to 90% of Nadal's first serves just targeting Berrettini's backhand. He's going to break it down and just go to his forehand when he has a clear shot at a winner. So that's something where I feel is a limitation for Berrettini in that, if you look at what Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal have created, is that you have to be the all-court player to be able to win a major these days. You can't have a weakness. And I think for Berrettini to win, he's either going to need some help from the draw or he needs to continue to improve on his backhand. So I picked Nadal to get to the finals. Now, in terms of Medvedev did a great job coming back versus FAA. And as he said, Medvedev was going to give it his all no matter what. And at the end, if he was down, he was going to make FAA earn every single point. And to me, watching FA, that's probably the most complete match I've seen him play. Even when he was losing in the third, fourth, and fifth set, like he was balling. I think that the balls that went out were just going slightly out. But I think FA can definitely build from this, and I don't think many adjustments are needed, because if he plays the way that he did versus Medvedev, then he's bound to win a major coming up soon. I didn't watch the Tsitsipas versus Sinner match, but it looked like pretty straightforward, and Tsitsipas miraculously is just getting better each match, and hopefully his elbow is back to form. I'm still going to pick Medvedev over Tsitsipas just because of his consistency, and Medvedev somehow manages to put the ball in the wrong place for the opponent, and he's tough to beat. Like, Tsitsipas has the game to beat him, but he has to be completely on. So Medvedev. Now in the final, Medvedev versus Nadal. It's going to be a tricky one, and I think from my perspective, I see Nadal as the most opportunistic volleyer, in that there's sort of different types of volleys. There's the Nadal volley versus like the Patrick Rafter volley. So Nadal, he has great hands, but he generally puts himself in a position to hit an easier volley. Rafter, for example, would come to net off of pretty much anything and hit like ridiculous volleys and still get them in. But I think for Nadal to win in this matchup, he's going to have to approach net a bit more. So come to net when it may not be the easiest volley, just because Medvedev could just stay back in the baseline, 10 feet from the baseline, and just rally all day. And I don't know how he manages to get to all those balls, but he just does. I think Nadal is going to need to shorten the points a bit more. It's going to be hard to hit through Medvedev, so I'm looking for Nadal to come to net, maybe hit some angles and create havoc that way. So it's going to be close. I think I'm going to give a slight edge to Nadal. But if anything is off with Nadal, then Medvedev, he doesn't have to adjust anything. Like, Medvedev can just play his game and win this tournament. So yeah, so it's been such a really interesting tournament, really interesting final days. Even watching the doubles, watching Kyrgios and Kokkinakis play yesterday with so much vigor, and it's going to be a fun Aussie final in the men's doubles. So again, this is Andy from Tennis with Andy. Hopefully you get a chance to watch some of the last rounds, and it's been really good tennis. Take care.